Hello, hello. Mic check 1, 2. All right. I'm kind of refusing to admit it, but I'm still sick. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell Christine I'm streaming. She doesn't think I was streaming tonight. Music's loud. That's probably better. Am I quiet? Hello? Secret stream? How's that? I'll give it 10 seconds. You're sick too, Uma? Man, there is something going around. I've been sick. I was sick for Christmas. I spent like Christmas Day in bed. And I was sick for like a good 3 or 4 days there. And then I was better for New Year's, and then I got sick again. And I keep thinking I'm better, and then I just get sick again. So like, I thought I was better 2 days ago. And then last night, I'm freezing. And I'm like, I definitely just have a fever again. I have this thing where like I sweat profusely at night. It's pretty disgusting. That happened to my wife. Do you think it was the super flu? I don't know about any of that mumbo jumbo. I took this worm paste that I thought would, this horse dewormer paste that I thought would make it better. I spoke to my doctor. She said she's going through the same thing. Get a chest x-ray if you're worried. The thing is, I'm not like, I'm worried I'm dying or I have to go to the hospital. I'm just so sick of being sick. But here's to our wellness. Anyway, I think I learned my lesson. Ooh, the lemon. I think I should probably get my flu shot from now on. All right. Up the volume still? Really? Check, 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 check. Hello, hello. Do they work? What, wellness shots? I don't know. Oh. I know someone who got sick even after getting the flu shot. Yeah, the flu shot is a bunch of people smarter than me, their best guess as to what sort of strains of influenza might be a problem that season, right? So the fact that it's anywhere from like 30 to 70% effective or whatever the statistic is, I would still do it from now on. It's a gamble. Everything in life's a gamble. If you're walking on ice, you might as well dance. I kind of went ahead without you. I put a bunch of mushrooms in a food processor and sweated them in a pan. And then I realized it was 5 o'clock. So these mushrooms look pretty sweated. I'm gonna put them in like a bowl or something and let them cool. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I think you call this a mushroom duxelle. Something like that? I don't know, ask Gordon Ramsay. All right, should I put that in the fridge to cool? Wee wee? What do the recipes say? It thinks I already seared my beef. Chop mushrooms, put them in a food processor, heat them, cook for 10 to 15 minutes, sure. When they've released moisture, remove from the pan, set aside to cool. Okay, I think I'll just set it aside. All right, I think I really should just get this beef going. Is Gordon Ramsay in the chat? No, he's a donkey. He's kind of mean, like he calls people donkeys as an insult. And I find that pretty offensive personally. I think the way people treat animals, and donkeys in particular, is a really good indication of how good or bad a person you are. So yeah, be nice to the donkeys in your lives. All right, I've got a almost 1 pound piece of beef Wellington. It looks kind of bloody. Maybe I wanna just dab that off. Ben, don't put your germs on the beef. Okay, I'll try to avoid, I was legitimately trying to avoid touching it, but I'm not sure how possible that's gonna be. Is it blood or the juices? I don't know. Aren't the juices blood? All right, we're gonna salt this bad boy. A little salt and pepper. I'll flip you for real. All right, gotta get the pan. I'm gonna get that last bit of mushroom out of the pan. Get that going on high with just a little bit of oil. You know, the only okay thing about being sick is I've been able to catch up on a bunch of movies and TV shows I wanted to watch. I'm almost done Heated Rivalry, and I have thoughts. Nice pants, Ben. Thank you, Banana Man fan. Juice in meat is not typically blood, it's mostly water. Blood is mostly water. Spill your thoughts. I feel like I should reserve, I want to watch the last episode. Maybe we do a whole stream on Heated Rivalry. I don't know, is that a bad idea? Actually, I'll tell you, I like the show. The show works because the love stories, there is something, what's the word? You believe them, they feel a little authentic. Not a little, I'm not being very articulate right now. If the show hinges on the love interests sort of working and making sense and you believing these people like each other and just like can't really admit it to themselves, that works. The show works on that level. I found the show was basically smut until, I think the third episode's the first episode where you're like, oh, this is actually good television and not mostly softcore pornography. Smut just means like porn. And then yeah, by the fifth episode, I feel invested in an outcome here. So that's, you know, it's not what I was expected. Going into it, I thought it would just be, I guess, male gay porn for women is kind of my preconceptions were. Uma, I think you did tell me the third episode. I couldn't remember if it was the third or fourth episode that people said was good. All right, let's get this hot. Okay. So the plan is to just put this tenderloin on a hot pan just to sear both sides before we'll eventually put it in the oven. There's a few steps here. Ben, off topic, I tried 7-Eleven taquitos and I love it. That's pretty off topic. How do I touch this? How do I touch this without touching this for Christine? I'm gonna soak up all the salt. All right, sear. All right, the trick is to not move it. What's a cow's favorite game? Monopoly, a bad joke. Something about that show made me see same-sex relationships in a different way, and I'm very appreciative of it. I was having this conversation in my head about, do you think the show, I'm not trying to say like you are a homophobe or something, but I was wondering, like, is this show a Trojan horse for bigots or people who are homophobic to see gay people as, like, you know, deserving of human rights? And I don't think it is, just because of how explicit it starts off with. And it's not saying the show should be that or has to be that. It's nice to just have a show about a same-sex relationship that is not afraid to just not be reserved about that at all. But it's not like you could show this to your weird uncle, let him start liking the characters, and then he realizes they're gay and it makes him sort of have like some sort of cognitive dissonance or something. It's not that kind of show. I think it's a great way to make gay relationships mainstream sexy. Yeah, I guess that is the better, if the show is achieving something bigger than just being entertaining, I guess it's that. It made me wonder too, like, I will say in the first 2 episodes, some of the sex scenes, I was kind of rolling my eyes just at how gratuitous they were. And just like, is this show just pornography? And it made me think, would I react that way if it was just like a guy and a girl? Would I have the same reaction, or would I not? You know? It makes you sort of question these own things about yourself. I think I would. I think any show that just has like very long, explicit sex scenes is kind of, I don't know what it is, that I find that kind of cheap in a way. Not that we see too much of that. I should probably flip this beef. Ooh. Oh yeah. That's a nice sear. Wait, you can't really see it. See it over there? It does smell good. I like that you're making this because there was a trial recently in Australia about a lazy who poisoned a bunch of people with death cap mushrooms in a beef Wellington. You know what? I heard about that. Isn't that like an obvious case of her being guilty though? Like what's the surprise there? There's no surprise, right? Didn't one of the guys survive too? Am I making that up? The first 2 episodes, I was annoyed at how little hockey there was in Heated Rivalry. Also, I hate the name Kip. You know what? The show isn't really a good sports show, especially early on. Like at one point, the 2 main characters, like their way of flirting with each other is the Russian dude is kind of mean to the Canadian guy and he pretends he doesn't like it, but he likes it obviously. But at one point he goes, the Russian guy has won the cup. And he starts like rubbing that in the face of the Canadian guy during their foreplay. And it felt like no sports fan would have written the scene that way. Russian hockey player isn't going to tell his secret Canadian lover hockey player, haha, you haven't won a cup yet, to get him going. That's not, a sports fan is not writing that. And there's just a few things in the show where I've just kind of been like, I feel like this really isn't a sports show in a way. All right, I gotta flip this around. Do I have to sear like the ends? It seems like a lot of work. I'm getting a little greasy here. Why is chat being cooked? I guess I could put you on the other side. Does that make more sense? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Also, the meat is very loud. I can't really hear you. All right, I'm just searing the sides now. Almost done this part. Because what's next? I think it just says, so sear the beef in the pan on all sides until well browned, about 2 to 3 minutes per side. Then you remove it, let it cool. And once it's cooled, you brush the beef with mustard. I got mustard. Thank you, silly. You don't have to give me money. Dad, how many troopers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They are all on the dark side. I assume you're talking about stormtroopers there, silly. Love a good Star Wars joke. It's been a while since I watched a Star Wars. All right, last side. Did you ever watch the Try Guys make beef Wellington without a recipe? No. I'm in a feud. I'm beefing with the Try Guys. Do they still make videos? I think they just shut down their, I saw something about them ending their podcast. Isn't there a puff pastry? I've got a puff pastry. It's still a little cold, but it feels soft. What do you have beef Wellington with? I haven't thought that far ahead. I am demanding your podcast. That's nice of you to say. Can I admit something kind of embarrassing? One thing I've been doing lately as I'm just like miserable on the couch on my computer, I found myself watching some old clips from our podcast. Just trying to remember what that was like. Is that weird? It's kind of like looking at pictures of yourself. It came up in my recommended, like the Ben retired at 34 years old, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna click on this. And I listened to quite a bit of it. What do you think? It's kind of weird because when I watch those, it's usually because I'm editing them, like changing camera angles and audio and stuff. So it's weird to watch them not in that mindset. Or because like we trim out certain things. Tyler says he misses the pod. I kind of miss the pod too, but I don't really miss making the pod. Do you agree with takes from then? Mostly. I found myself agreeing with myself a lot, which I guess is a good sign. You know what I think when I watch the podcast? We're feeling so cautious about not saying something wrong. That's one of the main things I didn't like about the podcast. All right. Wellington is seared on all sides. You want to see? Oh, it's a pretty good sear, right? It's a bit of a sear. just me though, lol. No, that's the thing, Chris. Like, watching it back, I think over time I got more and more concerned. As much as I was sort of sometimes, I would be frustrated with you for not giving an opinion, I also see it in myself. I'm being like, in the retirement one, I'm being so like, I know how fortunate, like I'm apologizing for retiring. And I think if people appreciate a bit of that, like I realize we're lucky. I found it kind of annoying in retrospect. I feel like we were always bending over backwards to consider how people could interpret us in the worst possible light. And I think that's not a healthy way to have a conversation. I think you just sort of have to accept that some people are gonna think the worst of you or have the least favorable interpretation of you. And maybe that just got to be a lot mentally after a few years. Like even my so-called boomer takes, like there are probably a few times I was insensitive about makeup or even like the dog thing. But ultimately, I don't think my heart was in a bad place on any of those things, you know? You can't please everyone, exactly. But yeah, that would be draining. It was. It was draining. All right, this is seared. I need it to cool before I brush it with mustard. How do you brush a piece of beef with mustard? Also, a little chunk of beef just like came off the tenderloin. I don't know what to do about that. Do I eat it? Do I just eat it? Do you have a pastry brush? I think so, but I haven't used it since we moved, so I don't know where that would be. Whew, that was greasy. All right, so mushrooms done. Beef needs to cool. I could find a pastry brush and I could, after that we have to wrap the beef in the mushroom paste with prosciutto. Where did that prosciutto go? Christine, if you're listening, when I bought prosciutto the other day, oh, there it is. It's in the fridge. Cool. That's good. All right. Prosciutto, check. Egg, check. Where would a pastry brush be? Nope, nope, nope. I'm sure we have one. No, I was looking for a silicone one, but I feel like I could probably use that. It's a little delicate though. No, I think that will work. All right, we'll do that. And then I could get my egg yolk. Get my egg yolk going. I need to separate the egg white from the yolk. I already fucked it up by getting some egg white in there. I need another bowl. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Everyone be quiet. All right, close enough. Do we have a tiny whisk? Maybe we'll just use a fork. Nope, maybe not. Is the dishwasher clean, Chris? You like my shirt? Thank you, it matches my pants. This was a Christmas present from Christine, I think. Right, Shrimply? Are we leaving the mushrooms out? The mushrooms are just chilling over here like some ground beef. Yo, make it raw! Sophia, could you thank Tyler for me for turning me on to Uncrustables? Also, sorry for drunkenly texting you on New Year's. Oh. Do I really have to wait for this beef to cool before I brush it with mustard? I mean, Gordon Ramsay's not watching. I think I'm just gonna brush it with mustard. Like, what is he gonna do? It's still pretty hot. Should I just prepare the next step first? Let's do that. Because is it pastry? No, not pastry. Next step is wrap the beef in the mushroom paste and ham. So roll out a large piece of plastic wrap. Lay out the slices of ham. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I don't know where anything is in this kitchen. Ben, do you keep your Uncrustables in the freezer? Christine led us to believe they're not. If I know I'm gonna eat them soon, I just put them in the fridge. Christine doesn't know about Uncrustables. Uncrustables are mostly for kids, but also NFL players. Yeah. We have a friend who had a cup of coffee in the NFL for, fuck, I should know this, not the Vikings. He was a CFL player. Anyway, I told him about Uncrustables and he didn't know. He told me he had never had an Uncrustable. I told him that, hey, that's probably why you didn't make it. No, he had a great career in the Canadian Football League. The Denver Broncos apparently eat 700 Uncrustables a week. That doesn't sound good for you. It's just like saying the Denver Broncos eat 700 peanut butter and jam sandwiches a week. How many sandwiches is that per person? What's a football team, like 40 people? I don't really care or like about football, to be honest. Don't tell anyone. It might be my least, actually I like basketball less. Don't tell Tyler. I kind of only like hockey. Is it more than that? How many people are on a football team? 60? I guess if I think about it, I could probably put down like 20 Uncrustables if I was hungry. Yeah. How do I open this? We know you like hockey. I know. I'm not very subtle. All right, here's my prosciutto. All right, how many pieces of this do I need? 6. What about rugby? I mean, rugby is just football for people who can't afford helmets. So I don't think that's great. All right, this piece is pretty shredded. That's not good. Let's try again. Oh, this one too. This is not looking good for Ben. Ben's getting upset. meat's too thin and delicate. I'm gonna need probably 6 slices here. That's most of my pack. Let me just go for it. God, all of these are just breaking. Can't even blame Chad. I barely pay attention to them. All right, let's try this again. This looks like a better piece. So I guess the prosciutto or the ham is supposed to protect the Wellington from, or protect the pastry from getting soggy. I think that's the idea. All right, I might have an extra piece or two of this. Let's see, roll that. Actually, last one. I'm just gonna use them all. All right, that looks okay. You see me? And what do I put the mushroom on top of this? I didn't do this backwards, right? You put the mushroom on top of the pastrami, the prosciutto. Lay the slices of ham on the plastic wrap. So they're large enough to wrap around the beef. Spread the mushroom mixture over the ham. Is this enough to wrap my beef? I'm not even sure. And this isn't overlapping enough. It needs to, to make sure there's no pockets. All right, I think that's as good as it gets. How do I spread this out? I don't think we're getting full coverage here, but that's okay. I'm gonna bring it in from the edges. I think it's more important for it to be in the middle. All right, that looks okay. All right, now I'm gonna brush my beef. Would I put the beef this way or this way? What do the pictures show? They're showing a shorter piece, you roll. It's probably the way to do it. Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, I'm brushing my beef with mustard. You know, the one time I had beef Wellington was with Sophia. I think that was Tyler's birthday, right? At one of the Gordon Ramsay places. I couldn't tell you which one that was. Ramsay's Kitchen? That sounds right. Or you would know. I think I put maybe a little too much mustard on there. I'm gonna spread it around. All right, this piece of meat definitely hasn't actually cooled, but All right, we're doing it. We're doing the thing. I think I'll put it that way. Right? Yeah, it's got to be that way. So I'll put it right in the middle. And then using the plastic wrap, I don't want the plastic to roll in on itself, right? Look at that, beauty. I've got a little log. All right, oh, it's leaking. I'm gonna put that on a plate. All right, we've done all the hard stuff. It's coasting from here. Place the beef in the middle, roll the mushroom and ham over the beef, wrap the beef into a tight barrel. Refrigerate for 20 minutes, come on. That's too long. I want to eat now. Oh, I just dropped hummus. Why are there like 8 tubs of yogurt in the fridge at all times, Christine? How much yogurt does one person need? I don't love cooking meat, but Tyler would do it. Tell Tyler to do it. Sophia, please come to Canada. People, don't bother Sophia. Don't scare off Sophia. Oh no, not the hummus. Okay, how many types of yogurt does Christine have in the fridge at any one time? Greek yogurt, oat yogurt, cottage cheese. In the same size tub, but all 3 very different. Oh, only 3? That's not impressive. Why are there like 6 tubs of yogurt in the fridge? We will probably make it to Canada this year. Uh-oh. Where do you want to go, Montreal? Should come to Canada and we'll see a hockey game, because I like hockey. Everybody knows that. You don't want to go to Bear. Leave the yogurts alone? Shut up, Jake. Vlog yourself trying to speak French. Je parle français, tu parles français, il parle français, elle parle français, nous parlons français, vous parlez français, il ou elle parle français. What would you need to know at a strip club? First of all, Sophia, there are way better strip clubs in Montreal. Just saying. So what do you need to say in one more song, un more chanson? If someone says, if they say, do you actually have money? You say, oui, oui. Are we looking for the best strip club? I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Retrolytics, is it too late to say Happy New Year? We're on the cusp of that, you know? Just saying. Just saying. Nice to see you, but. All right, I'm gonna take the beef out at 6. I guess I could just wrap out the pastry now. And by wrap, I mean roll. So to make my life easier, I did buy a pre-made puff pastry. I'm gonna wash my hands first. He thought making a Wellington would be easy, I think. This has been pretty easy. All right, I feel like this is way too much puff pastry. Like, how much do I really need? Half of this? Maybe I only need half of this. Also, it's super sticky. All right, this might be the hard part. Why is this so sticky? Is this one sheet or two? Ooh, uh-oh. That's what she said. Why is this so sticky? Oh no. How do you say that in French? All right, I feel like I'm gonna be wasting a lot of puff pastry, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Can't even get that bottom piece to unfold. Hello? I don't know why I put this on tin foil. That was probably a bad choice. How long has that been on the counter? Since I started the stream. It was in the fridge before that. Uh-oh. All right, I probably let the pastry get too warm. That might be a problem. Also, the tin, it's moving with the tin foil. All right, I think we'll be okay. Oh, could I even get this off onto parchment paper at this point? It's like stuck to the tin foil. All right, let me try. Let's look for the parchment paper. Oh, it's right there. Smells kind of cheesy. I feel like that shouldn't be the case. See, we figured everything out. All right, I'm gonna turn on the oven. What's our guess? Maybe I'll turn on the oven without looking at the recipe. What do you think? 375? 400? Maybe 400. I'm guessing 400. Is it spoiled? It's barely been out of the freezer. God, why does it smell like that though? I think you should put it in the fridge. It does look like a little sweaty. I thought once it's thawed, you're not supposed to put it back in the fridge. Blast freeze the pastry. Okay, we can cool it down. Maybe I put it in the freezer for just a few minutes. It has a fever? Yeah, join the club. I am excited to watch the last episode of Heated Rivalry. Maybe tonight. Although something's on tonight. What is it, the Golden Globes? Is tonight the Golden Globes? Is this it's the hockey smut show? Yeah, so the first 2 episodes are basically just explicit gay sex scenes. So it's for women who don't know that there's porn on the internet. But then by the 3rd and 4th episode, you actually start to believe these guys love each other. And they introduce another character who's kind of more interesting. So it works. I understand the appeal. Next book club look? No, next book club in January is Hamnet. I want to read Hamnet before I see Hamnet. And then I'll read Hamlet. And then I'll call Sophia next time I'm drunk and then I'll start reciting Hamlet to her. All right, there's not much left to do at this point other than wrap up that beef and just put it in the oven. Did we figure out the temperature? Temperature is oven to 400. What did I guess? Oh, I guessed right. I should do this without the recipe. Fuck you, Keith. I'm gonna shove this whole beef Wellington in that big ass mouth. You know what's funny? The only try guy I've met is the one who cheated on his wife. He seemed like an okay guy. So it shows what I know. Is Keith Ben's Heated Rivalry? Yeah, that's it. I'm actually, Keith and I are secretly gay lovers. All right, can I put the beef in the oven yet? It's 6 o'clock. How the beef's probably cool enough. All right, we're doing it. I'm not patient enough. Got the cooled beef and the slightly chilled pastry. We're doing the damn thing. It says to brush with egg yolk, but that would be the outside, right? Or just the edges? I feel like that would be the edges. Where's my brush? Where did I find that brush? I need a toothbrush. Uh-oh. Where did I find that? My other brush has mustard on it. I had 2, right? Yeah, here it is. Also, I did have a baby whisk. Use your finger? Okay, so I'm just gonna brush just so I could wrap up the sides, I guess? Or is this mostly for the outside? Yeah, why would I brush the inside of the pastry? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. We're doing it without the recipe, in honor of Keith. All right. Wash it? Wait, what do you need to wash? I'm going rogue here, relax. All right, unwrap the plastic. We're putting our beef log in the middle. Okay, that's pretty middle. We're gonna Oh, I see. So there's way too much pastry, so I'm gonna end up cutting that off anyway. So I'm gonna lose that. I need a knife. And the edges too. Ooh, I cut a little too far into that one. That might be a problem. Fuck. Okay, so we're just gonna tuck. Fuck. I cut it a little too short. All right, I'm going to move this. If I can get it off the parchment paper, I'm moving it to the pan. See, look, it opened up on one side. I'm gonna have to do something about that. All right, I think that worked. I think I just had to tuck it over. Same thing over here. Tuck the top over so it's sealed. And then we'll brush the top with egg yolk to give us a nice golden finish. Excuse me? Does smell like mushrooms. I had to put mushrooms in the food processor. Now we're... Yeah, the hummus machine. All right, I think I've egged that enough. Ben wants to get out of here? Yeah. And now I'm gonna score the pastry. Might have cut that one a little too much. Just giving a little pattern here. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think it just looks right. All right, this is what's going in the oven.
Looks like cake.
Why is the exposure so fucked? There we go. Looks like cake?
Is it food or is it cake?
All right, 400 degrees for what, half an hour?
Half an hour.
I know. I think I might just walk away from stream and come back in 30 minutes. I know. Oh. I should show them the oven. Can you see the oven? Is it cake or beefcake? Hello. Zoom in on the oven, yeah. I'm not feeling great. I might just put the camera on the oven and just leave for 30 minutes. Because, yeah, it says to leave it in. Bake at 400 for 25 to 35 minutes. All right, I'm setting the timer. I'm setting it for 30. Go. 30 minutes, 400. Does that seem right? There you go. There you go. Focus. Focus here, though. Is that focused? Like you could even see the timer, right? Let's go. All right, see you in 28 minutes. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Well, that wasn't really part of the plan. All right. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. So tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly, sleep in heavenly, sleep in heavenly peace.
Hey, you're still here? All right, the beef Wellington is also supposed to rest, if we're feeling patient. Now, it clearly leaked, like there's quite a bit of liquid in the pan. So it clearly, there was definitely a spot that wasn't wrapped enough. I think it might have been that corner there. So that's probably not a good thing. What's even leaking the beef juice? I guess just any moisture from within at some point just started leaking. Now the pastry itself seems nice. Got a good flaky crust there. It's too much dough on the end. But yeah, it's leaking somewhere. It says to let it rest for 10 minutes. Yeah, if I use a rack, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, the bottom's pretty soggy. Let me get a... How many tongs do I have here? Let's see, does this work? It's actually not as hot as I thought it would be. This might just leak everywhere though. See, I'm not sure if you can see, look at how much leakage there is in the tray there. All right, how much time do we have until the Golden Globes? Oh, plenty of time. So we can wait 10 minutes. Gordon says something like soggy diaper bottom, lol. I like old Gordon Ramsay content before he started playing that character who's just mean to people. You know? What would you change next time if you do this again? I think I took the puff pastry out of the fridge too early. The shape of my piece of beef tenderloin was a little strange and not totally even. So in the future, I might care more about that if I were to make this again. But this looks pretty good. I have no idea how it cooked. I would probably get an instant read thermometer and actually check it. I'm gonna set a timer. For 7 minutes. How about that? I'm gonna drink a seltzer while we wait. Make beef Wellington Uncrustables? Wouldn't that just be a piece of beef tenderloin? If you remove the crust from a beef Wellington, is there any puff pastry? Or are you only taking the ends of the puff pastry off? It's a good idea. Not mad at it. Sides, veggies, mashed potatoes. Yeah, usually you'd probably want mashed potatoes with this. I do not have any sides. I think we have a leftover salad in the fridge. If I'm being totally honest with you, I don't even feel like eating this. Would simply try it? Maybe. Although she's staying away from me because I'm still sick. Ratatouille for the stream? Yeah, what very difficult recipe can we make next? Save it for later, I guess? Yeah, you could. Yeah, if you like wrap it in foil, put it in the fridge. Yeah, you can reheat a beef tenderloin. Maybe the pastry will be a little soggy, but that's okay. Have you ever made macarons? Those ain't fun. I've never made macarons. Make a welly, but it's falafel smeared in hummus. What would be the outer layer? Yeah, what would be like a Middle Eastern hummus take on beef Wellington? Could you wrap it in pita instead of puff pastry? I guess you wouldn't really have to bake it. You're basically just making a pita at that point. Yeah, phyllo, like more like a spanica pita, not baklava. Yeah, use a phyllo pastry, phyllo, Milo. Uh-oh, it says my computer's gonna turn off. I never plugged it in. Why did I do that? Uh-oh, that would have been funny if it died while it was in the oven. You were almost cooked. You know what's sort of freaking me out a little bit? There's a color coming out of where I scored it at the top that looks very pinkish. I guess the ham was the outer layer, right? So I guess I'm just maybe seeing some ham. But when you know you're eating beef and all you can see is like very pink, that's a little weird. Supposed to be, yeah, I guess. It's supposed to be like red bullseye, right? Do you want to check the temp? It's been out of the oven long enough that it wouldn't really be a good indication of anything at this point, right? I'm not sure where. I know I have a food thermometer somewhere, I'm not sure where. Do you eat beef mid or well? Like if I'm having a steak medium rare all day, but I'm not a big fan of like, I'm not usually someone who would order other cuts of beef, honestly. Like what's it called when you just order, what's that called? Often at weddings you'll get just this cut of beef that's just like totally pink slab of beef. What do you call that? Is that just tender? No, it's not tenderloin. What am I thinking of, chat? Prime rib. Yeah, prime rib. I'm not a fan of prime rib. Or yeah, I guess any sort of like a roast. Carpaccio's raw beef. I've never been a fan of anything raw, really. Like I'll fuck with sushi a little bit, but that's, I can't think of any other time where I'm really interested in eating raw food. Ceviche maybe sometimes, but yeah, no, I've never had beef tartare. I'm not interested. Are there any other difficult recipes you want to try making? I like using this as a, and partly why I streamed tonight is because I scheduled this so it would force me to make it or try it. So I will think of other recipes from that perspective. Force me to try making some food. Get me back in the kitchen a little bit. But it's not about like, I want to make the hardest things ever. It's I don't know. Work on some skills. Like maybe I want to make my own pasta. Like actually like roll out the dough and do the thing and whatever. That'd be fun. I did say before the end of the year I would make pizza. So that's that. Ravioli? Sure. Salad is raw food? Yeah, I never eat raw food, including salad. All right. We have rested. We've rested for 10 minutes. Think I cut this bad boy open? Ooh, he was leaking. A bit of a smell here. All right, moment of truth. You want to see? How do I do this? Do we just cut in the middle just to see how it's cooked? I think so, right? Right, I'm gonna peek before you. Ooh, steamy. You know what? That looks pretty perfectly done. Not gonna lie. My only concern is how liquidy it still is. Does that mean like you should let it rest even more? I'll send a picture to Sophia later. Let me take a picture. Just why is it so... The thing I would need to improve on this recipe again is just why is there so much liquid? Like that was a good 10 minutes I let it rest, no? I feel like the whole time. But yeah, that's pretty good. Do I try it? Like how do I actually serve it, right? It would be like a 1-inch cross section. Yeah. Let me try something here like that maybe. Yeah, the only problem is the bottom being soggy, really. It smells like mustard. I did cook the mushrooms before stream, so there are cooked mushrooms in there. Yeah, really, the only problem is the bottom being soggy. Here, should we get up close? Yeah, nice crust. I guess I should at least try it, right? But yeah, why is it so wet? I'm upset. My beef Wellington is wet. 150 on my name is disrespect. All right. We'll try to get everything in one bite. It's a lot of work, and then everything just sort of comes apart anyway. Tastes pretty good. I wish I was hungrier, so I actually wanted to eat this. I think I put too much mustard on the beef. And yeah, it is too soggy, so there's a problem. Some problem there. Is it that I didn't score it enough? It's pretty well scored. I don't know, man. We're gonna call it a success. It's hard to give it a rating out of 10 just because I'm feeling sick and nothing really tastes right. Squeeze the shrooms? Maybe there was way too much liquid in the mushroom still. That's a good thought. But yeah, for anyone who doubted me, I guess you're wrong. Sucks to suck. Go back to watching the Try Guys or something.